never know. My point is, though, the way we were able to deal with that and to mitigate that is by having good relationships with the media, where they felt inclined to call me, to talk about it, and to say, you know what, Ryan's a good guy, let me give him the benefit of the doubt. And they were pulling stuff like that out of their tail end a lot. I mean, that was just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what they were trying to throw at me in last year's election. But by maintaining that relationship with the media, by building upon that and not treating them as enemies, I think we can make some inroads and start to get our message out through that mechanism. And folks like Michael and others who are involved with new media, you know, the blogosphere and things like that, that's a tremendous opportunity as well. I always say that technology is that should be our game as Republicans, because technology empowers the individual. This is the age, this is the digital age. Technology allows the individual to do more for themselves. So we need to be about the business of technology and leveraging that as a solution to empowering the individual to do more for themselves. So, sorry for the long-winded answer. What other, I know we had one back here. Yeah, John.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of speak on a couple things. You and I have the same, similar upbringing. Grew up poor, and had it tough, if you will, and kind of, those experiences give you a different take on life, if you will. So there's some folks that don't see that; they've never seen that. Yeah. And so when I ask the question, well, how did you get some, other folks to see things that you see? It's all about perception. You had great parents. I had great parents as well, and I think that's what kind of helped me to be sitting in this room rather than being one of the folks saying go Obama. Yeah. But I think, and to speak to her question too, is that I think it's perception. If I asked everybody in this room to name an energy drink, I bet you 95% of them would say Red Bull. But then there's other companies that say, well, we've got this, and it's got less calories, and it doesn't have the full nine, but Red Bull's got that perception. They're out there being aggressive. Yeah. The same thing with our message in community, as far as communication. I really, what you're saying is resonating with me because you're talking about technology, yeah, which speaks volumes, and you're talking about the business of solutions. Yeah. I think business is one of the key words that you're talking about. It's taking an entrepreneurial approach to problem solving rather than no act. Yeah. So I really want to say that I'm in support of everything you're saying, and I think we need to take that further step. And the next time we have a meeting where folks are here going, yeah, that's great. Let's have an avenue for folks to go, okay, you want to do this, let's, here's your avenue to take action. Here's your avenue to get communicated with, because everybody in this room communicates different ways. So we got a lot of work to do, nothing that we can solve in this meeting, but I think we're in the right, we're taking a step in the right direction. We can keep walking.
Well, I think Lori and company, Nikki and everyone else has ideas and solutions, actions that you all can take away from this meeting. I think that is important, that we don't just leave here feeling good. I mean, that's great, but we got to do something. And so I believe that ultimately this forum is a vehicle upon which we can do something, but we have to actually take action and do it. Mr. Vice Chairman. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, we're talking about taking the message and everything forward by show of hands. How many people are ready to go tonight by yourselves to the NAACP and say what Ryan just said?
And say what?
Until the day, and hear me well, until the day when every hand goes up, we will continue to lag behind in messaging, in marketing, and people believing that we are what we say we are. We are Republicans. We are the party of opportunity. Until every hand is willing to go up in response to that question, until we lose our fear.
We didn't hear the question.
The question was, how many people are willing to go alone to the NAACP right now and repeat that message of opportunity? And not every hand will. But what I'm saying is, until every hand does, we're gonna fall behind. We have to be willing to go and take our message, which is right. Yes, right. We have to be willing to take the right message into the light.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and if we don't, we will in fact become that regional party. The data says we will. If you don't believe it, go Google. 2043, I think, is the year that's been tossed out there. But somewhere in around 2043, whites in this country will become a minority. And so you ask yourself, if we don't grow our party and expand our party into both young and old, all types of socioeconomic statuses, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, if we don't grow into these areas, we as a party will in fact become a regional party, and I don't want that. I want this party to be the greatest party on the planet Earth. So, we have a question back here. Yep.
Wondering, with the word spin being such a huge thing these days, I worry hugely about entitlements and young people and the way to spin entitlements to give a different message, to empower our kids to, instead of thinking they need to rely on getting all that they're gonna get health insurance wise and so forth. Any thoughts to be able to try and reach out to young kids to empower them with different words rather than saying, you know, you're not entitled to things, because a lot of people think they are these days.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's a difficult one. I certainly don't have the whole solution, but I will say what I think that young folks want, what all of us wanted when we were young, if you will.
And that's
you know,
part of the whole syndrome is, you know, what's the, when you're, if you know, when you're young, you're a Democrat. If you're not a Republican, by the time you're 40, I can't remember the whole thing that it is now. But again, I mean, I think part of the Republican, the conservative issue is reaching out to young people, and that's, I mean, that's.
Well, I mean, what we all want, right? When I was young, I know I still want it today. I want to live my life, you know, and I think that young folks want that as well. They want the freedom to live their life.
Right.
And so, you know, when look, and I'm not, some social programs are helpful.
Sure.
And certain people need them, and I'm not criticizing those. When they create dependency, that's
Oh,
when I have a big problem.
I'm not disagreeing with
But
that at all.
the challenge is, and part of that message ought to be that when you're dependent, you're not living your life. You know, you're being told how to live it. And so there's a difference, you know, between being told how to live your life and the rules and obligations upon which you have to live by being dependent on this program. And there is the ability to live your life to the best of your ability, to make a way for yourself, to make your own decisions, to have that liberty and freedom. And I think that that's a key message that we ought to be communicating when it comes to entitlement programs. It's not that, you know, we don't believe in helping people, but rather we want people to have the freedom to live their life as they see best. So thank you so much for having me out again. I appreciate the opportunity.